Hi guys, Kevin, Property Soldier here. Now I'm in a house in Swansea that I bought in 2012 and I'm selling it today. So what's the story of this house? Why am I selling it? Well, I bought it initially from an agent and I bought it for 48,000 from an estate agent, 48,000, been repossessed. And I did a buy, refurbish, refinance on this house, so spent about 15 grand on it. Ended up valuing up at 90, 75% loan to value, interest only mortgage, gave me a mortgage of 67.5, and so it was an all money out deal. Now what I did with it initially is I put a tenant buyer in the property and left her alone for the next 6 years, and so that was actually a mistake. Shouldn't have done that, because then she stopped paying the rent. I went round to the property and discovered that she had been keeping, I think it's 4 Rottweilers in the place, and it absolutely stank. Cost me a lot of money to get it knocked back into shape. I decided I didn't want to let it out to any more tenants. I'm going to use it as service accommodation. So I'm going to show you around the property. Nothing fancy about it whatsoever. But do you know what? Even though we did a proper gut job, every now and then the smell from the animals kept coming back. And using it as service accommodation, every now and then I'd get complaints. And I even had to refund on a couple of occasions and move people out because of the smell. So we've no idea where it was coming from. But hey ho. So I decided that I was just going to sell the property and redeploy the money into other service accommodation properties, because no point in struggling on with a property that is causing you issues, and I don't want any more tenants. You know, when tenants trash your property and don't pay you rent, you're not allowed to kill them, all right? So I've got an issue with that. Let me just take you out round the back. Initially, this sale fell through the previous buyer because of knotweed. So let me just flick the camera around, and you'll see the garden bit. Now I actually fenced off this bit of garden whilst I owned the property, but the land behind this fence is owned by this, and there is knotweed lurking in that jungle, okay? Now, what did that do? Well, the previous buyer was buying it with a buy-to-let mortgage, and his lender refused to lend on it. And so he decided to pull out. Now, the current buyers are buying it with a resi mortgage, and if their surveyor discovered knotweed back there, they may not even checked, but if they did residential mortgages, they're less worried about knotweed, because with buy-to-let, tenants don't tend to keep on top of knotweed, whereas with owner-occupiers, they do. So the deal, they got a mortgage offer and the deal is going through. Right, the other key learning with this one is that I claimed the capital allowances on it. Once it's used as service accommodation, you can claim capital allowances. So I forget off the top of my head, but say a 30 grand capital allowance claim, which means that I can then earn 30 grand of furnished holiday let income without paying tax. All right, so a significant tax saving. So no longer affected by Section 24, and I'm able to claim capital allowances. Now then, when you sell a property that you have done a capital allowance claim on, you have to do what's called a 198 election, which means that effectively the buyer is gifting you all of those capital allowances that are inherent still in the property. Now, the reason why an owner-occupier or someone using the property as buy-to-let should not worry about that is because unless they're using it as service accommodation, furnished holiday let, they can't claim them anyway. But an awful lot of solicitors get extremely confused, excited. People's accountants don't understand capital allowances. And so it's a tricky day still to try and get this one over the line, because I am not going to allow the exchange and completion to happen until they have signed the 198 election, because that's going to cost me a lot of money if I allow that to happen. So please do get your capital allowances done. But if you are selling a property that you've had a capital allowance done on, you will lose those capital allowances unless you make the buyer sign what's called a 198 election. Now, the solicitors will say, oh, we'll deal with this afterwards. We'll just exchange, complete, we'll deal with it afterwards. Don't go there. You will not get them to sign it, I'm telling you this. So at the moment, I'm holding the cards. I'm not completing. And they've got their removals booked and all that. I'm not completing until they sign that 198 election. And so it is as simple as that. So if you've got any questions about any of the issues that I've raised in this video, let me know. Type away in the comments section and I will get back to you. And so I hope you found that useful. Here's to your service accommodation success, and remember, your future needs you. Speak to you soon. Take care.